You missed the grand opening I gave you, Mike.
What did you say, Bill? I need to hear it again.
All good things.
Barkann Foundation Executive Director, diehard Eagles fan, Mike Myers, back at Philly Pressbox Radio.
What a time it is right now, guys. And I just want, first and foremost, I'd like to say congratulations to you both for putting together a terrific forum, a platform. And the guests that you guys have brought on over the years is extraordinary. So I've really admired you guys. I'm a dad. I'm in dad mode, so I'm running the kids all the time. But I see your guests, and I see a lot of the content that you're speaking about, and I think it's a very special thing. And what you're doing is a true reflection of what's great about Philadelphia sports. So congratulations, Chet and Bill. Great job.
Well, Mike, you guys at the Barkann Foundation know about great guests because you have events. You've been doing them for the last 10 years. You're celebrating your 10th anniversary over the next few weeks and months. And you always have, Philly athletes and former athletes involved helping you out. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. But first of all, Mike, tell me about what your excitement level is right now for this 2022 Eagles football team.
I'm very excited. So I went into the season, my biggest concern was not Jalen Hurts. My biggest concern was Nick Sirianni and Gannon. And for me, they've passed all the tests. I think schematically, the way they're doing things, it's extraordinary. What game have we played where we've been tested in all four quarters? I think you look at Detroit in game one, we kind of throw that out because you're coming out of the offseason, but they've really controlled from the gate in the first quarter on against these teams. Now, the schedule's light, so they really haven't been tested. Dallas at home, I think they took that game over early. But for me, this Eagles team all starts and begins with the offensive line and Jeff Stoutland. To me, that's where it all begins. And I think the Eagles offensively, with the offensive line, can beat you in various ways, much like Dallas with that, three-headed monster with Emmitt Smith, Aikman, the receivers, Irvin, and then I hate to say it, but I think we have that kind of, it's hard to have a complete team in 2022 with free agency and that kind of thing. But I think the Eagles are as complete right now as you can possibly be, especially in the NFC. So right now, my excitement level is big time. To me, it would be a disappointment if we don't go to the Super Bowl. I just don't see anybody in the NFC that has the talent and the ways to win that the Eagles do as currently constructed. And who knows if Howie will make another deal like we did in 2017.
Hey, Mike, I started this season at 12-5 was my prediction. I upped it to 15-2 before the butt kicking they gave the Steelers this week.
Sure.
And only the Eagles are playing really good. And I keep saying to Chet, I've been a little bit unimpressed with them. They were 6-0. I kept saying there's more to this. Well, they showed it this week against the Steelers. But I think the NFC is weak. That Green Bay game is not going to be a big game. I don't think the Indianapolis game is not going to be a big game now. It's the Tennessee game and the Dallas games are the two that I have circled that could be a little bit tough. And so what? It's about winning in the playoffs, but I'm at 15-2.
I think that's very generous. I don't see where that's a problem. I mean, when you look at that schedule, they're going to be favored in just about every one of those games with the exception maybe being Dallas. But the way they're playing offensively, defensively, I don't think they've played their best football yet, which is very scary, what you've alluded to, Bill. I don't think they've played four quarters yet. But for me, A.J. Brown, I didn't know how good he was when we got him the night of the draft. The separation that he gets, the strength that he has, the way he runs his routes, and you're posting Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown right now, I think it's the Eagles' offense so much better. And they're a complete offense, and every week they have somebody else that can beat you. One week it's Miles Sanders. Next week it's Devontae Smith. But I think ultimately when you look at it, it starts with the offensive line and A.J. Brown, the addition of A.J. Brown. And let's give credit to Howie Roseman. We've beat him up over the last couple of years, and I'm going to say deservedly so. I don't like the way that Super Bowl team was broken up at all. And I think he gets a lot of the blame for it, but I also think it came from above him. And credit to Jeffrey, I think he took another step back and he brought Howie back into the forefront. And I think the moves that they've made have been extraordinary. And Jalen Hurts, I have to tell you, I've been his biggest critic. He's playing very, very good football, you know. So, but Bill, you nailed it. They haven't played their best football yet, and that's scary. Yep. They have not played 4 quarters of football yet.
Well, Mike, it's going to be an exciting second half of the season. We're not at the midway point for the Eagles. They played, 7 games now, so still 10 to go. And, I'm looking at 15 or 16 wins, too, the way things are looking right now. But let's shift gears and talk about what you have going on at the Barkann Family Healing Hearts Foundation. Hard to believe, but that's been around for 10 years now. You've been there the whole time, and you've been on a roll of late with fundraising events, including sending a bunch of people to the postseason and now World Series games at Citizens Bank Park. What a response you're getting from your supporters. It's been terrific, has it not?
And that's, Jim, you hit the nail on the head. I always call you Jim, but Chet, you hit the nail on the head. It's all about our supporters, and that's the way it's been since day one. We're a family. We're a Healing Hearts family. And the cool thing, when the teams are doing well, fundraising and the foundation does even better. And I just want to let your viewers and listeners know we ran 5 donation campaigns since the World Series began last week. We've raised over $50,000 on Phillies tickets in the last 7 days. And that's a credit to our amazing supporters. But I'd like to come back to you and Bill and say, you know, you've been with us since day one. And for me, if you're going to have any kind of success and celebrate milestones, you better have a lot of great people along the journey. And you guys have been there every step of the way for us, always speaking about us, talking about our events, having me on, which I don't know that I qualify to be with all the great guests that you have. Maybe with the partying scene, maybe we'd go there, but you guys are special. And that to me is what the foundation is predicated on. It's about people. And we've given a lot of money to families, but I think most importantly, we've given hope in times of despair. And I think there's nothing greater that you can give, especially somebody who's a stranger in their time of need, is hope. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of your show and your platform. And you've helped us in a big way. So, but let's go Philly. I mean, we're talking Eagles, I got to tell you, I am not the biggest baseball fan. I grew up on it, went to the vet, I lived there. But what this Phillies team is doing is extraordinary. And it's fun. And we needed this in Philadelphia. And let's go Phillies.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, have you ever we were talking about this early in the show. Do you ever remember a time where everybody was on board, all the different teams were on board? Fletcher Cox is sitting in the stands in a Phillies jersey. The Flyers are wearing Phillies jerseys to New York. Joel Embiid's at the game. Do you ever remember this happening like this in all the years that we have had good teams?
So for me, I always look back to 80 and 83. I know we had a lot of success. I was just born in 78 and then 83. I don't remember. 2008, I think, was all about the Phillies. You still have that Joe Banner mindset with the Eagles, and I think there's still a little bit of a competition between the Eagles and Philly. So the Phillies really took over the city. But no, Bill, to answer your question, I think we saw a glimpse of it the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl with all the teams. Embiid was there. You had guys like Mike Trout at the Super Bowl. But right now, I've never seen anything like this. And I think it's what the city needed. We needed this shot in the arm. And I'm glad. If there's one thing I'll say about the Phillies, and I've gotten to work with them in my career, they're the closest thing as a family that you will find in professional sports. And I think that all goes back to Bill Giles and especially David Montgomery, Ruley Carpenter. They are still a family. A lot of the same people work there. And I'm just really thrilled for the Phillies organization. Fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to see them do this.
Mike, last thing. First of all, for people who don't know, the Barkann Healing Hearts Foundation includes a couple of folks whose last name happens to be Barkann. That is Michael and Ellen. We all know Michael from NBC Sports Philly. And coming up real soon, the foundation has a huge 10th anniversary celebration. It is November 12th. Is that officially sold out? And if so, can people still make donations, and anything else on the schedule we should know about?
The event is almost sold out. It's at Dr. Rajan's house in Yardley. Jim, if you can make it, you're invited. But you can make a donation, thebarkannfoundation.org. And I'm really excited to announce tonight that our Holiday Hearts program has kicked off. And I'd really encourage everybody to take a look at the families that we're supporting this holiday season. They really need our support. We provide gift cards and monetary donations to each of the families. We used to do toys, but because COVID precautions are still in place, we're not able to deliver. So what we do is we do gift cards and monetary donations to each of these families, and it goes directly to them. They're all local, and quite frankly, they're destitute. So we couldn't do this without people like you and Bill. You guys are amazing people. But I think ultimately that's what Philadelphia sports is all about. It's about people, and we've always come together. And that's what I love about it. So it's a really special thing. It's a special time. I'll never forget this. You know, being able to see $50,000 raised in a week is a pretty special thing. And it happened because the Phillies team got hot. Look at them against the Cubs in August and September. Right. Did you ever think you would be sitting here? We're talking about Game 4 of the World Series
in November.
In November,
yeah.
And the weather is gorgeous.
Right. Right. Well, hey, Mike. Before we let you go,
sure.
Can you let everyone know where they can follow you, where they can contribute, where what all you have going on with that?
Sure. So please check us out at thebarkannfoundation.org. It's the Barkann is spelled BARKANN foundation.org. We love to get you involved. I'm the only employee of the foundation. I'm the executive director, but we are a family. And if you haven't been to one of our events or haven't supported us in the past, we love to welcome you into our family. And Michael and Ellen have created something here that for 10 years has brought a lot of good people together. And we've done a lot of good, but we've also had a lot of fun. And thanks, guys. Your support means the world to us.